What is going on, my peeps? Your boy Versatile is back with another video, back here to discuss how you can optimize your battery life on your Samsung device, and really any Android device or device period for that matter. How to optimize your battery life so that way you can maximize your battery savings. Now, for this video, we're using the Galaxy S20. And if you guys actually want to check out my battery optimization ideas or tools or tips for the Pixel 4 series, I'll link the card up here. But for this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you guys general settings that will cover a wide range of devices, and then Samsung specific settings in their devices that you can use. And some of them might be limited to One UI 2.1. But I would imagine that you can still access some of these in One UI 2.0 and really One UI in general. And that's why I'm hoping with my tablet, when One UI 2.1 comes, hopefully along with Android 10, it will be, some of these features will be on here as well, because Samsung has done a very good job at giving us a ton of tools to use in order to optimize our battery. So before we get into the video, make sure you guys ignite that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell so that way you guys get informed when I drop videos. Now let's get into the video. So the first thing you want to do is jump into settings, and for this video I'm actually gonna leave it where, you know what, I'm even going to change it to light mode for now. Now the first thing you want to do is go to connections. So once you go to connections, you see you're gonna get all your Wi-Fi information, right? So if you go into more connection settings, it's not in there, right? Well, actually you could cut off near device scanning. So believe it or not, even though it's a small bit of battery life, if you're really trying to optimize to your best ability, trying to get the most out of your battery life, turn off nearby device scanning. When you do so, it will not be trying to search for Wi-Fi all the time. If you're in a location that is already connected to Wi-Fi, it will do so. It will connect to Wi-Fi. And if you already know the Wi-Fi password to Wi-Fi that you're nearby, then you can just put those in. You don't need your phone or your device to actually scan for those Wi-Fis. So you can actually turn that off. Now, you can turn off Wi-Fi calling as well. Make sure that it's going to prefer to use cellular connectivity when connecting for calls. You can turn Bluetooth off and only turn it on when you actually have a Bluetooth device connected to your device. You can also go into, and this is where I like to confuse myself sometimes, if you go onto Wi-Fi and then you click on Advanced, turn on Wi-Fi automatically. So this feature actually is location based. And when you've connected to certain Wi-Fi's before, of course that information is logged into your phone. So if you turn that on, it will connect to those Wi-Fi's automatically, so that way you thus won't have to worry about having near device scanning on. Now, what else can you do? You can do Wi-Fi power saving mode. It will reduce your battery usage by analyzing Wi-Fi traffic patterns. So let's say you're already connected to Wi-Fi, and if the Wi-Fi is congested, the bandwidth is just nowhere near being able to be used successfully for your device, it will probably just jump right off of Wi-Fi and not worry about struggling to stay on that Wi-Fi. Or if the connection is bad, it'll jump off and you don't have to worry about your Wi-Fi actually draining your battery. So that's one way you can also save battery. Now, if we jump out of the Wi-Fi settings, as soon as I get out of connections, the next place you want to go to is display. Now, most phones nowadays has a dark mode, and if you have an OLED or AMOLED based display for your device, if you use dark mode, in Samsung's case, it blacks out. So since no powers are going to the pixels, you save battery life by being able to go dark mode and not having a lot of pixels illuminated. So you can do that. Using adaptive brightness likewise helps you save battery, because let's say you manually set your brightness to like 50% all the time. Well, when you're in a darker setting, you may not need 50%. It might just be simply too bright. But with adaptive brightness, it cuts that brightness down to like 30%, and you can still see your phone. So by dropping the percentage down lower than 50%, that's less brightness, less nits that have to be pushed by the battery, thus by the display. You can save battery that way. In the case of most phones like OnePlus's more recent phone, the Pixel devices, the Pixel 4 devices, the Samsung Galaxy S20 series, you have a motion rate. What you can do is actually turn that motion rate back down to 60. And when you do that, you'll get tremendous battery life. If you already get good battery life with the 120 hertz on, imagine being able to use this device on 60 hertz. So that's one way you can also increase your battery life. Another way you can increase your battery life is by making sure your video enhancer is turned off, because when you watch videos in specific apps that utilize video enhancer, it brightens the display and you don't want that. So make sure your video enhancer is off. Now, what else can we go to? Well, your lock screen has always on display. Most phones, again, have an always on display. In Samsung's case, you got settings for your always on display. Tap to show allows your always on display to not have to be always on. You could tap the screen, see it for 10 seconds, and it cuts off. You can show always, but that drains your battery. You can use show as scheduled, so you could pick a specific time that you need your always on display to be on. Choosing between tap to show and show as scheduled helps you maximize your battery life, because your screen will not always be outputting a display or outputting anything for that matter. Your display will be turned off until you actually need it. Thus, you save battery life. Next, what else can you do to optimize your battery life? Well, if you go on advanced features, make sure you have Bixby turned off. So, with your side key, I don't have mine on. I just have the regular power menu there. So having Bixby off, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to use Bixby routines, but that doesn't really affect battery life all that much. And you can also reduce animations. If you reduce animations, there's less stress on the processor having to process animations. So therefore, it saves battery life there. It just kind of switches screens or between apps and transitions very, very much more seamlessly. So by having reduced animations on, you also save battery life. Now, motion and gestures, you could turn off Smart Alert and Easy Mute. Now, Easy Mute, I turn it off just because I realize I don't use it anyway. It's where if you get an alarm or something, you just kind of put your hand over the camera and it'll silence it. But it's using a sensor essentially to sense when you actually want to mute your phone that way. You turn it off, that sensor is no longer being used to that capacity. Smart Alert, likewise, my screen went dark because I only got about 5% left. Likewise, Smart Alert, when you grab your phone off the table and your display is off, of course, it will vibrate to notify you that you have notifications. If you have that off, it's not using the vibration or the haptic feedback, therefore you save battery life. So, and then Smart Stay is another one you can technically turn off because it's analyzing when your eyes are actually looking at the display. And so if you turn that off, then it's not going to, again, utilize that hardware, thus you save battery life. Now, where you actually will do a lot of battery saving is within device care and going to battery. First of all, you want to click up here, go to advanced. You want to use auto optimization. Auto optimization actually optimizes your phone automatically once a day. You can pick the time when you do so. So when you do so, I have mine set for 5 a.m. So clean up your phone for you, and your phone will feel fresh every morning, closing stuff out so you don't have anything really running in the background or hogging your battery. You can also do an auto restart. I have mine scheduled for right before I wake up around 8:20 a.m. Auto restart will restart your phone once a week or however many days you wanted to do so. Once a week is preferable. You just need to do it one time. But auto restart will restart your phone, and therefore again kind of gives that battery a clean slate. Then you can have optimized settings on where it will save battery by optimizing your settings when you're not using your phone, and this typically takes place at or after midnight. So by doing that, it will, for me, I have reduced brightness set. It will screen timeout drops down to 30 seconds, and it will change. You can change your media volume levels. Now, going into battery, by going into power mode, this is where you can do a lot of saving. Now, I have mine in high performance. I'm trying to utilize as much as I can out of the processor and stuff like that. But if you're trying to save battery, you can optimize your battery life to get a balance between performance and battery life. You can do medium saving where it extends your battery life by limiting some functions. Then you can do maximum power saving where you will save a ton of battery because you just simply don't need to use your phone to its ultimate capacity. So by doing max power save and choosing some of the settings there, you will be really, really good to go in terms of saving battery life, because you're trying to save battery. And then you can do adaptive power saving. So what does this do? It sets the power mode automatically based on your usage patterns to save power when it's not needed. So you can actually have your phone analyze your usage patterns and then optimize accordingly, which may again also help you save battery life. Now, you can also go into app power management, and this is where, of course, you want your adaptive battery on, because that will definitely help you save battery. It will also put unused apps to sleep. You can check which apps are asleep. You can check which apps are in a deep sleep, which basically means you just have not used the app in a long time. And then you can also choose what apps you don't want to be put to sleep. What else can you do? You can go in here and do wireless power share. You can actually adjust the settings here. So what you can do is actually adjust the battery limit that it will cut off power share. Now the battery limit is 30% at minimum. It will not go below 30%, but you could change this anywhere up until 90%, which is also crazy, because 90% there's no point in using power share. And then you can actually change how your phone charges. So you can actually have fast charge on, you can have super fast charge on, and you can have your fast wireless charge on, but you can also set when it can be turned on and off. And in this case, I have mine scheduled. I want my super fast charging to take place between 8 a.m. and 2:45 a.m. because I would imagine at some point during that time when I throw this phone on a fast charger, which right now really just seems to be Samsung's proprietary 15-watt charger or wireless charger. By the time I put it on there, even if it's at night before I go to sleep, it's going to fast charge to 245, then it's going to cut back down to a regular charge. So that way I don't end up, harming my battery in any way. So you can also manage how your phone will fast wirelessly charge. And these are the tips and tricks to actually maximizing your battery life on your Samsung device, so then that way you won't have any issues regardless of your scenario. And then if you do run into a situation where you need to save battery because you won't be by a charger and you're already out, going into that power mode and changing it from like high performance or optimized to max power savings will indeed save you a ton of battery, because it will immediately start cutting stuff off that you don't need, or you don't need to prioritize in that moment. So those are the features, the tips and tricks to save battery life on your Samsung device and in general. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys have done to actually save battery life on your devices, and if any of these settings actually helped you do so. That's it for this video. Hope you guys appreciate and enjoyed it. Again, hope you guys have ignited that like button, have subscribed if you haven't already, and have hit that notification bell so you guys will stay informed when I drop videos. But your boy Versatile signing out, and until the next video. Bullish hearts. Wait for it.